native of Jackson and Navy veteran who has created the USS Arizona exhibit at the Cascades, Stan Mazer. Hi, Stan.
Hello, Bart.
Good to see you.
I appreciate you allowing me to be on the program and basically alert people to the fact tomorrow, Pearl Harbor Day, December the 7th, 81 years after it originally happened, that we're going to have a simple ceremony. It'll be the first of many, I hope, annually. I'm trying to convince certain groups to go along with that. I was astonished that the county parks wasn't doing anything to prepare for something of this nature. The county commissioners weren't doing anything. Veteran organizations weren't doing anything. So I took the bull by the horns to get her started. And it's going to work out pretty good. God's been answering my prayers. It's going to happen, plus the weather. The weather's going to be decent. It's not going to be like Buffalo.
Yeah, well, the weather last year wasn't very cooperative for the actual dedication.
That's true. That's true. But it was kind of joint between, ceremony was held in the church, at least the first half of it, and then we walked across the road to the actual site and did the balance of the program.
So to refresh our viewers' minds, the artifact from Pearl Harbor, a piece of the USS Arizona, became available, and you were able to secure it for Jackson.
Yes, I was, for the state of Michigan, really. It's actually in behalf of the state of Michigan, but to be displayed at this current location. And they can't remove that, relocate that, because there's a certificate of authenticity that says Jackson County Parks. That's where that thing's going to stay. So that was good in itself, and the program went very well. And we're in hopes tomorrow at 1 o'clock that our simple ceremony will remember Pearl Harbor and put this to where it's something that unites us. And by golly, it's unfortunate it takes a tragedy of that nature, like the 911 similar, to unite our countrymen. And I'm in hopes that this will kind of put that back into play.
Well, there are fewer and fewer people that were alive and old enough to have a memory of that, and I'm not sure how many, but every day veterans who served in World War II during that time, we lose hundreds every day.
That's true. Yeah. That's very true. I feel good in the respect that there's going to be, I've been in the Seabees for 7 years. And basically that's how I got wind of possibility of getting a piece of the USS Arizona. We have a publication, a quarterly publication, what they call Can Do. It's all about Seabees, past, present, future. And myself being a Seabee, and we had Seabees crating that piece at Pearl to ship it here. And in our ceremony last year, one of the religious speakers at the benediction, he basically is a Seabee himself. He's going to assist me tomorrow. Plus, I'll be involved reading half of those 28 names that Michiganders went down with that ship out of a total of 1,177. And all in all, there was 2,403 that lost their lives that day. And 26 or 28, I believe, were civilians. The rest were military. And what number went down with that Arizona was just about half of that total group. So I basically will have a ceremony to where my son's going to be the MC.
Jeff?
Jeff will be the MC. We're making arrangements through the county parks to have the American flag at half-mast. So when we get over there, we'll have a color guard, which is basically from one of our military organizations, that will raise the flag to full mast. Then we'll all recite the Pledge of Allegiance along with my son. And we have a young lady from my church that will sing the national anthem. And after that is all said and done, then my son will indicate to the chaplain, my CB buddy chaplain, to say the invocation. And once he states the invocation, I've got a gal, I try to borrow the bell from my church, but she comes with the bell, which is fine with me.
You want the bell, you get the girl.
We get the girl, Carol Hatch. She's basically music director at Queen's Church. And it's one of, it was supposedly her daughter was going to sing the national anthem, but she won't be available, but we've got an excellent replacement. And anyway, we'll recite the 28 names. I'll do half of them. My other CB buddy will do the other half. And once those names are said, we'll have a rifle salute. And following the rifle salute will be taps. We'll have two bugle players, one close by and the other what they call the echo. And then to finalize it, the chaplain will say the benediction, and that's pretty much alert the fans, pay some attention to the donors list. Also that there'll be refreshments at the Cascades Baptist Church, light refreshments, and make mention that this is the first of an annual gathering on Pearl Harbor Day for future events.
Yeah, so 1 year ago, the actual exhibit was unveiled and dedicated. That was the first anyone saw it. It's been on display for the last year. But the ceremony you're planning tomorrow is a little simpler than the dedication ceremony.
A little bit simpler, yes. But primarily it's got the meat of it's there with the rifle salute and the bugle and the proper religious words at invocation and benediction and remembrance and continually to pray for those that we lost, yes.
Now you had a lot of help with sponsors for this exhibit, and I think you wanted to mention some of them today.
Well, yes, I'd like to mention Midbrook Products, Elrose Steel, and Jackson Glass. Pretty much did all that showcase free gratis. Mercer, R.W. Mercer Company, did pretty much all of the site work, and that was huge in itself. Plus we had Imagecraft Engraving cut us some slack on the plaques, and Fritz Signs cut us some slack on the flags that are installed out there.
Well, it turned out great.
No, I thought it turned out better than I expected,
Yeah.
really. In fact, some of the donated funds, we've still got a little extra left over that we could utilize to pay for a few other things in the future. Like maybe they could help reimburse me for running the PA system, as an example. And then maybe compensating the Cascade Baptist Church for the refreshments. They might maybe put some lighting out there in the future. And hopefully they put maybe run some electrical power to where they have a source for future events if somebody wants to have a PA system that needs a plug into an electric source, that'll be available. So.
I think we've got some different parking, and the configuration of the roads have changed since last December. Is there parking close then?
Closer, yes, but they stretched it out. If you look at the layout prior to the reconfiguration, from the basketball court to where the exhibits are, they've got that complete lane designated for traffic. So you could be parked right by the basketball court. You still got quite a long walk.
People can still park at the church.
They can park at the church, yes. That's good backup there. And the church is allowing us to use their bathroom facilities on a need-be basis. So we'll have some help from the county parks. They'll put about 12 chairs out there, and they'll lower that flag at half-mast.
Well, the weather will be a little nicer than last year. I saw the snow on the ground, and it was very cold last December 7th, so it'll be a little more comfortable. So I hope you get a nice turnout. Pearl Harbor Day, December 7th at the Cascades, just off High Street. Now, Stan, while you're here, I want to check in on your grandson, Carter, who's a pro hockey player. What's he up to?
Well, he's basically, he's been drafted by the Red Wings. Mm-hmm. Not the last draft session, the prior draft session. So they have access to him for 4 years. Mm-hmm. And they will naturally, depends on how he does and their needs as to whether he'll be a Red Wing professional player.
He's in the minor.
He's in the mix. He's actually was chosen as one of the players for what they call the World Junior. Mm-hmm. That's 20 years and younger, and they started a session against 9 other teams from Finland, Germany, Austria, Switzerland, Sweden, mm-hmm. to where they played up in Canada, and that was like in February. But mm-hmm. then a COVID, and they had to shut her down. Mm. But then they decided to redo it later on in August, which did take place mm-hmm. up in Canada. But he's represented our country as a player on the USA team, and he's doing well with his current. I think he's got pretty close tied for the most goals.
Nice, and he's playing for Denver.
Denver Pioneers.
Pioneers, and is he? How old is he?
20.
20. Oh, wow.
He'll be 21 February the 28th.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so he's got a golden opportunity. Hopefully he doesn't get seriously injured.
Nice.
I hope none of them get seriously injured.
Yeah, that's a rough sport. Well, we'll see you. I personally won't be able to be there tomorrow, but we'll be there, and hopefully you will be able to as well.
I thank you very much for giving me this time to basically market a fine event that's going to take place tomorrow at 1 o'clock.
You're welcome, Stan. Good to see you. Thank you.
Well, thank you.
Jackson native, CB native veteran, Stan Mazer. Stay tuned.